Lead paint poisoning affects over 500,000 children in the US each year. But here's what's truly shocking. Most of those exposures could have been prevented if landlords had simply followed disclosure laws.
That's such a disturbing statistic, especially when you consider that landlords are legally required to inform tenants about these hazards. What's really happening here?
Well, here's the thing. In buildings constructed before 1978, landlords must disclose any known lead hazards, but many are deliberately concealing this information, and some are even authorizing unsafe renovation work that creates toxic lead dust throughout entire buildings.
You know what really gets me about this? The fact that some people think lead paint is only a concern for families with young children.
Oh, that's a dangerous misconception. Let me break down why. Lead exposure can cause cardiovascular problems, kidney damage, and cognitive issues in adults. And here's something most people don't realize: lead accumulates in your body over time. So even low level exposure can become dangerous.
Hmm. So, what exactly are landlords required to provide tenants before they sign a lease?
Well, there's quite a list actually. They need to give you an EPA pamphlet about lead safety, a federal disclosure form, and in some states like Massachusetts, there's additional paperwork. But here's where it gets interesting. They also have to share any known lead inspection reports. And some landlords are sitting on these reports while telling tenants everything's fine.
That's exactly the kind of deception that puts people at risk. What about renovation work? I've heard that can make things even worse.
Oh man, renovation is where things can get really dangerous. Like, imagine contractors coming in, scraping walls, creating dust clouds, using regular household vacuums instead of specialized equipment. And get this, each violation can result in EPA fines.
So, what should people watch out for during renovation work?
Well, there are some clear red flags. If you don't see plastic sheeting or containment barriers, that's bad. If contractors aren't using HEPA filtered equipment, that's another problem. And here's something most people miss: even small repairs in kitchens, bathrooms, or around windows can create significant lead exposure.
That makes me think about all the people who might visit a contaminated apartment: children, pregnant women, elderly relatives.
Exactly right. And you know what's particularly frustrating? Some landlords, when confronted about lead hazards, try to claim they cannot rent to families with children. But that's completely illegal under fair housing laws. Instead of discriminating, they're required to either make the property lead safe or maintain it properly.
Let's talk about the legal remedies available, because I imagine many tenants don't know their rights.
So here's where it gets interesting. Tenants can potentially receive triple damages under consumer protection laws if a landlord knowingly violated these requirements. You can recover rent payments, medical monitoring costs, moving expenses, and even compensation for emotional distress. But, and this is crucial, you need to document everything.
That's such important information. What's your advice for someone who suspects their landlord isn't following these requirements?
First thing, save every communication. Take photos of renovation work, keep copies of your lease, and document any health concerns. Then, request those disclosures in writing. And here's a pro tip: if your landlord dismisses lead paint language as just standard lease inclusion, that's often a red flag they're hiding something.
Looking at the bigger picture, why do you think these violations are still so common despite such serious penalties?
It really comes down to economics and ignorance. Some landlords gamble that tenants don't know their rights. Others look at the immediate cost of proper lead remediation, which can be significant, without considering the much larger penalties they could face. And there's this persistent myth that it's only a concern for families with young children.
That really brings us back to the core issue: the right to know what's in your home.
Exactly. And here's what it all comes down to. Whether you're a young professional, a retiree, or a family with kids, you have the right to make informed decisions about your health and safety. When landlords violate these requirements, they're not just breaking the law, they're potentially creating health risks that could affect people for generations to come. Knowledge isn't just power here, it's protection. If you think your landlord violated lead disclosure laws, please get in contact with Doubleday Law, 617-575-2006, or fill out the contact form on our website at www.doubledaylaw.com.